Good morning, Patriots. Welcome back to another edition of Guns and Gadgets. This is the last pre-surgery episode. Today's the day. 2 p.m. Eastern is when I have to be at the hospital. So I'm kind of nervous, and I figured I'd do what I do to help me feel better. So here we are. I wanted to take an opportunity here while everybody's focused on the debates. If you watched the VP debate last night, let me know down below what you thought of it. And if you happened to watch it with us and the Gun Collective, I was live with them like I was in the first presidential debate. Let me know how it went, and if you weren't with us, join us on the next one. So let's talk about Arizona. Arizona is a key battleground state, not only for this election, but for our Second Amendment. And what do I mean? If you're not familiar with what is going on with Michael Bloomberg and his attempt to buy gun control and single-handedly, well, him and George Soros, but they want to single-handedly destroy the Second Amendment with their money. So Bloomberg has announced a while ago, and I did videos on it, and I'll put it above so you can watch that video, but he has announced that he is going to attempt, by putting money into Democrat candidates, to turn Arizona blue. And the biggest risk there is that people, for the most part, aren't paying attention. Happened in Virginia. People weren't paying attention. Bloomberg and his cronies flipped the state blue, and we all know what has happened in the last year in Virginia. It's been the gun control mecca on the planet. Bloomberg's going after Texas and Arizona. And one thing we need to focus on is the Senate race. And that's going to be huge this year. We have to keep the Senate. You know, we being, I guess, I wouldn't even say conservative or right or left, but we, freedom lovers, need to keep the Senate. And in my opinion, as we need to keep the White House as well and flip the House of Representatives. But Mark Kelly, former astronaut, husband of Gabby Giffords, the former congresswoman who was shot in the head and became a huge gun control advocate, he is running for Senate in Arizona. And what I wanted to do is to tell people who might not be aware of this race or what the views are of these two people running for Senate, is just to bring it out here and tell you that Mark Kelly is about as pro-gun control as it gets, but he's a hypocrite. And so is Gabby Giffords. And let's get into it. So first off, both of them are gun owners. Okay? Numerous times on record, you can look it up yourself. Kelly has come out and said, yes, I shoot for fun, and I go shooting with my wife. And I think it was 2014, he testified, and you can look this one up, but it was pretty hot at the time. He testified on a gun control, whatever it was, hearing. And then after the hearing, telling people we need to take guns and control guns, and these people shouldn't have guns, he went shooting. So the last thing we need is another freaking hypocrite in the Senate, and there is enough of them. Mark Kelly, he stands for four things, okay? And they had a debate the other day. I think it was yesterday. I'm not sure, but I was doing all my reading this morning because I'm nervous. So I want to tell everybody about the four things that Mark Kelly stands for. Universal background checks. He believes that you should have a background check on your privately owned items. And universal background checks sound like a great thing, but really what it is it criminalizes the person-to-person transfer of firearms. That's all it does. Background checks already happen. The universal background check sounds great. Universal. That's not what it is. It criminalizes person-to-person gun sales. Number two is red flag. Mark Kelly is a huge proponent of red flag laws. He believes that the government should be able to violate your constitutional rights by seizing your personally owned property at the whim of somebody else, without a hearing, without being adjudicated as a criminal, without being found guilty of anything. He believes that due process means nothing when it comes to a firearm. It's the most vile threat the Second Amendment has ever seen, the red flag laws. The third thing that he wants to do is this boyfriend loophole that the left, the Democrats, the anti-gunners, have coined. And while I am not going to sit here and say it's okay to beat your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever you call each other, domestic violence is terrible. But the ones that aren't legit, they want to, this boyfriend loophole, they want to make sure you lose your Second Amendment right forever because you had a domestic incident. So we've done universal background checks, we've done red flag, we've done this boyfriend loophole. The fourth one, and there's technically a fifth one we'll get into real quick, but the fourth one is one that he doesn't talk about a lot, and that's another assault weapon ban. I don't know about you in Arizona, but I live in a state here that has an assault weapon ban. It's absolute hypocrisy that an 11th round in a magazine makes you an assassin, a terrible person, or a scary looking gun based off of some cosmetic. A little metal lug this big, a bayonet lug, whew, that's illegal, you can't do that. That you're a killer. It's unbelievable what these anti-gunners will stoop to get what their ultimate goal is. And they want an assault weapon ban in Arizona. And the fifth one, and I'll talk to you real quick, I'll give you a couple quotes from both candidates. But the fifth one is this gun show loophole that they are absolutely lying about as well. So let's get into some quotes here. I'm going to give you some quotes from Kelly, as well as McSally, who is his opponent. And hopefully you'll have some information that you'll pass along to folks so that they can have a better idea of how they should vote. So some of the things that Kelly has said is we need some stronger gun laws, but laws that are common sense, that most Americans agree with. And here's the best part. Every gun grabber says this. I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. You know, he owns guns. They both do. He goes shooting. But you can't. I probably own more firearms than your average Arizonan, but we could do things to keep people safer. He goes on to say that like 90% of Americans and 90% of Arizonans want more gun control. Is that true? You live in Arizona? Let me know if that's true down below. But he also says, we could do things to keep people safer without infringing on the Second Amendment rights of responsible people. Yeah, you're right. Go after the damn criminals and leave the law-abiding alone. Another thing Kelly said was, here in Arizona, a majority of Arizonans support background checks for all gun sales. He said that these will keep communities safe, as well as a couple other things, and that's where he means the assault weapon ban. So that's Mark Kelly. He is regurgitating the Bloomberg gun control. He is just regurgitating it, and it worked in there in Virginia. It's worked in California. It's worked in Massachusetts. It's kind of working in places like New Hampshire, where both chambers of their legislature are now Democrat controlled. You guys better keep your governor there. But it's just the same perpetual stuff that the sheep just keep eating. And we have to stop it. So Martha McSally is the opponent of Mark Kelly. And I don't live in Arizona. And I don't know much about Martha McSally, but in my research, I'm just going to read you a couple things, and that should tell you everything you really need to know about where her views are on the Second Amendment. So in March of 2012, McSally was asked by a moderator specifically about the gun show loophole. Remember, we talked about that earlier. And what they think the gun show loophole is where private citizens can somehow get cleared before they can transfer a firearm to another private citizen. So this is her response. She said, it's the law. I mean, the law is clearly based on the Second Amendment, and we all have the right to keep and bear arms. And I have the right, as a private citizen, to sell my possession to anyone I want to. It's my lawful right. So just like I can sell my car, I can sell you my gun. And so it's the law. It's not a loophole. It's freedom. And absolutely it needs to stay that way, because any restrictions on that at gun shows or other places is just absolutely unconstitutional. Pretty solid answer. And when she's been pressed recently about what they can do to help, reduce gun violence, her answer was, let's focus on the mental illness side of things. And she said, let's do that rather than restricting firearm sales. Guys and gals, Arizona is going to be a huge battleground this year. Let's make sure that we educate ourselves. We are the only ones who will get the word out, and I'm asking you humbly, for a guy who's going on the operation table in a couple hours, please spread this. Please share this, because this will be suppressed by the algorithms. I guarantee it, because it's not a pro-Biden or a pro-gun control or a pro-communism type video. So Please share this with your friends. Please get this in front of gun owners, especially anybody you know in Arizona. They need to know the truth about the two people running for Senate. And I'm sure that there is more Michael Bloomberg candidates running at local levels. So start waking people up. It's almost time. All right, guys and gals, thank you for your time. I appreciate you all more than you know. I fully expect to be able to do a video tomorrow. We'll see how that works. I don't know what to expect. But if I can, I will. And keep me in your prayers. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. And I'll see you on the other side. Take care.